as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come on, here with me. I want for you to go. No need to worry, baby, it's not hard to stay.
Yo, I'm Baron Davis, and you're watching.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here.
I miss you too,
and I'm
Ernie.
really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here
I
too.
miss you too, Ernie.
Yeah, me too. Tonight, it'll be the San Antonio Spurs up against the Chicago Bulls. For Chicago, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. And fellas, a new season about to begin. Clean slate. Plenty of hopes and dreams out there. Kenny, how do you spot a new legitimate contender?
I usually look for the team with good balance, where one guy isn't doing everything. One guy can facilitate everything, but he can't do everything. So offense, defense, balance, and they gotta have a big shot maker.
You know, I look for unselfishness, guys playing with each other, mental toughness. No weak-minded team has ever won a championship, Ernie.
How about continuity, too? How about very little changeover from a team that was really good the previous year, may not have gone as far as they wanted, but returning the same bunch?
That helps.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well
Yeah.
said. No need to add anything to that.
Continuity.
Continuity. Yeah. Kevin Harlan knows all about that.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Alongside Craig Anthony and Steve Smith with David Aldridge on the sideline, this is Kevin Harlan. It's the Chicago Bulls taking on the San Antonio Spurs. And before this game gets going, let's send it over to David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Fred Hoiberg. David.
Guys, he told me their primary focus of the pregame discussion was defense. He said they're dealing with a very sophisticated offense, and it's going to require an outstanding effort from his players at the defensive end to come out on top. Let's see if that's the effort they get. Guys?
Thank you, David. These teams have no problem, Steve, going to work on the block, working down low. You can expect, I'm sure, a lot of post-ups as we get this one going.
Yeah, they love to play through the post. They look at basketball like the old school way. If we can draw a double team, that opens it up for wide open shots. But they figure the game is won down there in the trenches, right there on the left and the right block.
And the Spurs start out with the ball. Outside, Green. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist.
And getting the offense started with a high-quality look down low.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Dunn and Levine, their backcourt. Here it's Edge at the power forward with Lopez in the middle. And it's Holiday in at the 3 spot. Now here's Parker. Zach LaVine unable to get his last shot to go.
No hesitation. He took it right to the rack. But a quick reaction by the defense.
And Aldridge comes over to help. And Lopez gets it to go.
And that soft touch of Lopez makes things easy for him down there.
Parker with it. And Holiday picks him up defensively. Parker's shot is off.
One could argue that's a good shot, but maybe not the right shooter to take it.
Lopez against Gasol. Levine wide open. Again, Levine missing.
You won't see him miss many of these. A wide open look from distance.
They grab their own miss, and Green gets it to go.
Fantastic positioning on that offensive board, then right back up.
The Bulls have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green. Green against Levine. He dishes it to Holiday. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. And Gasol comes to help. It's stolen by Green. Pushing it up. Leonard with no one around. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol.
Finding the man who broke free. The great vision of Pau Gasol making that play happen.
On the wing, Levine. Leonard brings the double team. Lopez kicks to Holiday. And the Bulls with another miss. For San Antonio, they've gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
The tenacity, the hustle. Kawhi finds ways to score even when his number isn't called.
Chicago has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And Parker comes with the help to the inside, looking to end the run. The shot by Holiday, no good.
Just great at getting after it defensively, forcing guys into tough shots.
Yeah, to be successful, you've got to protect the paint. He rises to that challenge.
Now here is Holiday. Kawhi Leonard unable to get his shot to go. Another miss by Holiday.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take. Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Obviously, this has been a tough quarter for him, but he's still trying to keep a positive mindset. Getting there up in age, we know Tony Parker was the Spurs' top scorer for half a decade from 2011 on. Their offense was built around his slashing ability.
And he sinks the second. And guard Tony Parker, now 35 years of age, bound one day for the Hall of Fame. Last season, the lowest minutes average of his career, around 25 minutes a game.
Yeah, his game has always been based on quickness. He's lost a step, and it's been challenging. But he studied John Stockton, Jason Kidd, and Nash to see how they remained effective.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. Well, the NBA has taken great strides to ensure a competitive balance, Steve, over the past decades, but they have a long way to go to achieve complete parity. I don't know that it can ever be done. How do you feel about the current competitive balance of the league right now?
You know, I think it's good, but Kevin, you're totally right. You can't get complete parity. You're going to have injuries, and I think when you have injuries, it changes the whole dynamic of these teams. So far, so good for me. I think it's a lot of balance. Good teams are good for a while, and then it always shifts and changes. I think we're in good hands right now.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Leonard. He's coming off an excellent season. He averaged 25 points per, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. What incredible numbers. He has been a beast.
You know what? Everything is coming so easy for him right now, operating on the highest level.
Holiday up top. He's covered by Leonard. And Holiday kicks to Lopez. In the corner, it's Levine. Off the mark, and the drought continues.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Bulls trail by 10. Will not go. This is off the front iron.
There does come a time when you haven't made anything all quarter long. Pass the rock. You talk about the new term, 3-and-D players. Well, Danny Green is the perfect example of that. Over 2/3 of his shots come from long range.
Both free throws good from Green. And Green's shooting has tailed off a bit over the last couple seasons, now entering his 30s. Steve, you think we've seen the best of Danny Green?
Well, you know, he bounced back last season, shot over 38% from the three-point range. but his field goal percentage wasn't much better. As many threes as he shoots, you'll take it.
Spurs leading by 12. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. Chris Dunn picks one up.
And you watch Danny Green work. Smart guy, a grinder. That time, he draws the foul.
That one misses. And Danny Green, undrafted out of North Carolina. He's been a linchpin of the Spurs' great defense over his career.
You know, 6'6" with that 6'10" wingspan. This is a guy that can block shots like a big man, guards three positions, and one of the guys that we call the prototype when you talk about that 3 and D wing player.
The veteran eyes see all. Frenchie with the tremendous look to make that play happen.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
Yeah, you need to refocus now. Momentum is running against you.
And from what I'm seeing, there's too many unfavorable matchups out there on the floor.
Steve, is a player, do analytics give you a path to say, you know, I should change and lean more toward this, or I should stop doing that because I'm better at this? Does that ever enter a player's mind, you think?
Hey, Kevin, I think guys should look at these numbers. When you're saying from this spot you're shooting 20%, stop shooting from that spot. If from this shot you're shooting 80%, you might want to get to that spot. So, and I think that in those cases, yes, analytics work. And when you're shooting a three and you're shooting about 30%, you need to step in.
Portis, he's checked in for Chicago. With the break in the action, let's show you the teams with the most second chance points last year. Number 1, the Bulls.
Yeah, that was a huge factor for them a season ago, and their ability to attack the offensive glass and then convert those into second chance buckets. I mean, no one did it better.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
You know, this is not an area where they expect him to contribute. You know, he's a guy that shot below 70% last season.
Bulls trail by 14. Here's Dunn. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. The shot by Holiday, no good.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
And that one's good. Harker.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Here's Dunn. Passes it to Lopez. And Gasol comes to help. Lopez kicks to Portis. Kick out to Levine. Just 5 to shoot. Lopez a screen from past the arc. Levine can't hit.
He can't find his mojo. Tough quarter for him scoring the basketball.
Yep, it counts. Gasol's got his first basket.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Dunn kicks to Lopez. Floats one up, and the layup is good.
Lopez knows his length is an asset to him on the offensive end, and he used it right there.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
And really, this is a team that expects to beat everyone when they step on the floor, but they were only able to split the series last year.
They are not short in confidence, but they can't get too carried away because it could cost them the game.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. The Bulls also changing it up. Markkanen, he's checked in for Lopez. Paul Zipser comes in for Justin Holiday. And it's Jaren Grant in for Dunn.
You know, Kevin, it's easy to forget, but Greg Popovich was almost fired by the Spurs back in '99. Rough start that year, under 500. The players caught wind that if they didn't win the next game in Houston, Pop would get the X.
And how about that exhale there? Finally gets one to fall through 6 attempts.
Shots good by Laverne.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
And there's the bucket from Markkanen. And amazing to think about an all-time great like Popovich being on the hot seat. His players went to the mat for him, though, didn't they?
Some huge performances by Tim Duncan, among others. They really came out to support Pop. The Spurs finished that season on a tear, going on to win the franchise first NBA title.
And so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Spurs.
And they've been avoiding those deep threes. They're capable of knocking those shots down from long range, but so far they've really been reluctant to let it fly from that free throw line extended three-point shot.
Pass to Zipser. Bulls moving the ball around. Another three for Chicago. Spurs leading by 10. Here's Laverne. Gets the 14-footer to fall. Laverne's got his second bucket of the night.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to sum it up. A little more sense of urgency.
Here's Levine. That one doesn't go. So the Spurs will take it the other way.
I'll tell you, he just hasn't been able to get it done on the offensive end. It's kind of dragged down the team.
That shot is off. Here's Zipser. He's covered by Gay. And Kyle Anderson gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. A minute 20 left to play in the first quarter. Zipser, the pass to Grant. And the Spurs, Greg, one of the best defensive teams in the league for 2 seasons running.
And it's really all about execution. They seem to just move in concert and stay connected. No silly fouls, and with their length, nothing easy inside.
And Laverne throws it down.
And really focused on establishing dominance down low. And, guys, it's working.
They have played physical, they have owned the paint, and they have built up a decent lead here in the first.
And here are the Bulls now, following the bucket by the Spurs. They get the rebound. Markkanen. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And Markkanen is showing the aggressiveness you like to see in a guy with his skill set. Somebody who doesn't lack confidence when he shoots the ball.
Both good from the line that time.
And for many years, the Chicago Bulls were viewed as a model franchise. Always were competitive and in the hunt for a title. But this current version just can't escape turmoil from within.
Grant kicks to Zipser. Gay comes over with a double team. The shot by Markkanen, nobody around. Misses the wing J.
And the defense daring him to shoot that. Good plan right there.
And Kyle Anderson gets the whistle that time. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. Bulls trail by 13. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Tipped away. Now, here's Grant. He's covered closely. Clock at 6. Puts up a 3. Zipser's shot is off. Here's Mills. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs. 13 points up at the end of the period. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting they've been dialed in so far from the field. Back to the action after this word.
Top
And the San Antonio Spurs have really popularized that unselfish offensive style of play. Manu Ginobili talked about their Spurs approach.
Attack and find the open teammate, not try to solve problems by ourselves. It's something that we've never done, and every time we did it, it's not us.
There's a lot to be said for knowing, Greg, who you are and what your game plan is, and there may be no other team that gets that better than the San Antonio Spurs.
And Kevin, it helps to have that core of Manu and Tony there as the foundation and coaches on the floor for each new wave of players that have come through this Spurs organization.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And a comfortable margin for the Spurs here, guys.
Cleaning the glass, I mean, right from the jump, and that really helped them to set the tone.
What you have to do is establish a physical presence early, an aggressiveness their opponent has failed to match.
We've got Rudy Gay, Murray out there with Mills, and there's Laverne, and it's Anderson in at the 4. That's the San Antonio 5. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
And he throws it right out of bounds. Careless mistake.
Mirotic is checked in for Levine. Bulls trail by 13. Mirotic sets the screen for Grant. Poke loose. Mills with the steal.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
And here's Gay outside. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Gay's got 5 points so far.
This is the confidence Rudy has in himself, looking to score as soon as he gets the rock.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Spurs' Greg Popovich talked about developing players. He said, our method is usually tough love. I don't think coddling works, and beating them to death mentally doesn't work either. You give them a clear picture of what's demanded, show care, understand what makes them tick. If that doesn't get through, you get rid of them. Kevin?
And the military background of Popovich plays a part in this way of thinking, David. It's why the Spurs have been so successful for so many years.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Now, here's Grant, Portis, and nothing is falling for him right now.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Chalk up 2 there. Anderson's got his first points of the game.
And every offensive board is an extra possession. If you're trying to compete from this far down, you cannot allow that.
You know, I wonder, where's the passion? You can't afford a no-show here on the defensive glass.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. And with the zone defenses the league allows right now, motion offense really becoming a key to efficient scoring, it seems, Steve. Do you like that trend?
I do, because it's really hard. They're taking advantages of the rules. Zone defense is hard to be able to stop teams that really move and move without the basketball. I would love for the league to go back to where a guy can have just a touch or a balance of touching somebody, because being able to guard somebody without touching at all, that is very hard.
I think most players would agree with you.
You just want to be able to touch to get a little balance.
Sure. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Pau Gasol's checked in for Laverne. Aldridge comes in for Anderson. Leonard, he's checked in for Rudy Gay. And it's Green in for Patty Mills. Chicago also making some changes. Lopez, he's checked in for Portis. Justin Holiday comes in for Paul Zipser. And Chris Dunn subbed in for Jaren Grant.
I mean, clearly not on the same page right there. You hate to give away possessions.
And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Aldridge's shot is good.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
For Chicago, they've gotten only one of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aldridge.
And taking a look here at the numbers on Pau Gasol. last year getting it done. He averaged about 12 points per game last year, 8 rebounds and 2 assists. And for a reserve big man, not a big drop-off when he checks in the game.
Totally. You want your team to at least hold court when the reserves come in. He definitely keeps you solid up front.
And it's Leonard missing. Chicago's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Holiday against Green. Holiday dishes to Mirotic. And it's done in the corner. Shot to stop the drought. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. And Leonard gets it to go.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That is his first foul of the game. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. There's the screen, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession. Here's Dunn. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. 5 on the clock, and DeJounte Murray gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. The wide open look here for Holiday. Drills the three-pointer.
Poor defense there. That's his bread and butter. You have to crowd him out on the perimeter.
Then Gasol with the dunk.
With authority, Pau Gasol turns up the aggressiveness. Always a good sign for this team. Well, one reason this Bulls team had such a tough time getting easy wins last year, it was their shooting. Second lowest made threes in the league. Just didn't have the personnel to make it happen.
And the Spurs pushing it up now. Here's Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Always up there among the leaders in steals. Leonard gets his team out in transition.
Done with it, out guarded by Murray. And stolen by Murray. In transition, here come the Spurs. And finished off by Gasol.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
And for the Bulls and their poor shooting, had to trade some shooters mid-season as well. In fact, Smitty ended with the lowest effective field goal percentage in the NBA.
Not having shooters, that will do that to you. Overall, had a bottom 10 rated offense. For the offense they want to run, they are going to need better threats outside.
That free throw, no good.
Pau Gasol, as skilled of a big man as you'll find in this league, in my opinion. Passing, shooting, handling, you name it.
Parker's checked in for the Spurs. Now here is Holiday. Double team on Holiday. The feed now to Dunn. Out left to the wing. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it. Here's Parker. We were just talking about Pau shooting last season. He shot almost 55% from three-point range. How about that?
That's how you fend off Father Time. Keep adding layers to your game.
Dunn shot's good.
And how about Dunn getting the ball in a great spot, making the deep attempt look too easy.
Kept alive. Here's Aldridge. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. Aldridge has got 7 points. The Bulls have gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. Dunn passes to Markkanen. And stolen by Aldridge. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
Just great at getting after it defensively, forcing guys into tough shots.
Yeah, to be successful, you've got to protect the paint. He rises to that challenge.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aldridge. Manu Ginobili's checked in for Green. And Chicago also making a switch. Levine's checked in. Here's Levine. 5 points in the game. Mirotic, a screen on Ginobili. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's his first foul. And here is Dunn. Kicks to Mirotic. Lets the three fly. Knocks down the three ball. Mirotic has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Here's Gasol, and Gasol slams it in.
The staying power of Tony Parker when it comes to his ability to run an offense.
Well, Chicago has gone for the three-pointers 7 times here in the second and been successful 3 times. Lopez. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. Parker with it. Now guarded by Dunn. Took him no time at all on that one. He has 5.
Well-timed play. Parker sets up ready to catch and fire, and the pass is on point.
Dunn kicks to Lopez. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Lopez, a screen on Ginobili. Dunn, wide open, he fires. The baseline J, off the mark.
A mix-up with the defense leaves him wide open from mid-range, a shot he usually makes.
And no doubt they've been the more efficient team in this first half.
Because they've been patient, they're finding good shots. That's why they've hit a much higher percentage from the floor.
Now, here's Dunn. Outside Holiday. The rebound by the Spurs. Gasol's got 9 rebounds now tonight.
Woo! Love it, love it. Well, we know Leonard's an elite two-way machine, but there he shows us the artistry.
The Bulls shooting around 29% from the floor. A tough night for them all around on the offensive end. Mirotic dishes to Levine. Leonard brings the double team. Dunn misses. San Antonio's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Leonard attacking, and a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. Aldridge has got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Mirotic has a wide open look, and again, no good by Chicago.
And we haven't seen them get to the line as much here in the second quarter. They might be settling a tad too much offensively. And the point differential tells the story. Their two-way play has been outstanding.
You know, it's a matter of effort plus talent. You need both to dominate this way.
They grab their own miss. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That's on LaMarcus Aldridge.
And Lopez doing whatever he can to get himself to the line.
Robin Lopez, a solid big man who can clean up the glass and get you some points on the other end.
And Robin Lopez might not have great range now, but, you know, that could change. He says he's working on a 3-point shot, and his logic is that since his twin brother Brook can make threes, it can't be that hard.
Maybe. Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Anderson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And Rudy Gay is subbed in for Kawhi Leonard. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. The pass to Portis. Feeds it to Levine. Uncovered. Count that one. Levine's got 7.
That's something Zach works on to round out his game. Consistency from the mid-range.
Ginobili misses.
And see, he had his momentum going forward, but really didn't need to lean in there. He was wide open.
Levine, good.
This is why you like to get him touches. He makes things happen.
And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession.
An unforced error. I'm not sure what was he thinking.
Off the inbound pass. Grant, that's good.
Lopez knows how to make himself as wide as possible and bury the defender with a screen.
Kawhi Leonard has been on display for the San Antonio Spurs. That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Kawhi, what did Coach Popovich ask out of you tonight?
He just wanted me to go play basketball out there, and I just tried to be more aggressive tonight. Shots started falling, and my team just kept running with me.
Hey, Kawhi, great half. Thank you for your time, man. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Boy, what a crowd joining us here for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Kawhi Leonard is having one of those nights. He ended up with 19 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. His last game out, he was just not himself. But tonight, he has rounded right back into form with a very solid first half. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, we saw in the first half how comfortable Leonard is now being the man. He learned from the best how to take charge. What's scary about him, on top of his dominant game, he does it without expression. Cold, calculated assassin.
And Shaq, what'd you think about Chicago?
Not pretty to watch how they get torched in the low post, Ernie. When they were playing defense in the post, you know me, Ernie. Barbecue chicken alert, barbecue chicken alert. This team is going to have to up the pressure, play more physical in the second half, start a fight, throw some bowls, let's go.
So that'll do it for now as we send you courtside with Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew for the start of the second half.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
And they haven't needed a lot of shots to get their points. Just tremendous efficiency here in the first half.
What I love watching is they are working for high percentage looks and cashing in when they get them.
We're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. So for Chicago right now, Dunn and Levine, their backcourt. Mirotić at the power forward with Lopez in the middle. And it's Holiday in at the 3 spot. Here's Mirotić offline with his 3. San Antonio's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kawhi Leonard has become a go-to scorer, but his focus still starts at the defensive end. He said, my mindset is the same every game. Whoever I'm playing against, I go in and try to stop their best scorer and then try to get myself going on the offensive end. Kevin?
And David, that's what you get with Kawhi. Mr. Consistency, one of the best two-way players in the game.
And LaMarcus Aldridge really possesses tremendous shooting touch when you consider this guy's basically a 7-footer, and he's increasing that range. Last season, up over 40% from 3.
And stolen by Aldridge. Here's Green. Nice D from Levine.
That's one of those where you think you've got it, you relax for just a second, and then you're kicking yourself.
And again, no good by Chicago. And Aldridge doesn't shoot a ton of threes, yet he still earns his keep in that mid-range.
Yeah, on that left block, back to the basket, and with his size, that turnaround J is just about unstoppable.
With the acquisition of LaMarcus Aldridge, the Spurs going against the grain. Most teams going small and shooting threes. Aldridge, a big forward who loves the mid-range.
And the foul called on Danny Green. That'll be his second foul of the game. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. There's the pick, and the call will be against Tony Parker. That's foul number 2 for him. And with Aldridge in the paint alongside another 7-footer, the Spurs have plenty of length inside.
Yeah, they do. LaMarcus Aldridge with pretty good mobility for a player his height. He's able to move his feet defensively and cover the pick and roll perfectly.
Gasol with the steal.
I don't get it. He was so efficient in the first half, 0 turnovers, but since the break, he's been a disaster. Once he's dialed in, helping to dictate the flow of this game.
And Aldridge comes over to help. Here's Mirotić. The shot missing. Good work defensively by Gasol.
They can't buy one right now. 0 for 4 already to start the third.
Now it appears an injury out on the floor, and that does not look like any fun.
And that's the one thing you just really can't control or even guard against, and that's injury.
It's an unfortunate part of the game. Our thoughts and prayers are with him.
And the Bulls making a change here. Markkanen's checked in. Levine kicks to Dunn. Knocked loose. And here we go. Parker heading to the hoop. Lays it in off the breakaway. Parker's got 9 points.
no hesitation at all in transition, and they have a huge margin in that department.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. And Holiday kicks to Markkanen. On the wing, Levine. And he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
Well, you need to start somewhere. After 4 straight misses this half, let's see if this gets them going.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aldridge. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Outside Holiday, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
And checking out numbers for Dunn. Some last season stats for him. Averaged 3 points a game, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And clearly he's having a tough stretch here, but it's all about how you respond to the adversity. That'll be key.
Listening to your coaches, putting in the work. Those are keys. That's really all you can control.
They double him with Green. Dunn kicks to Levine, and Levine throws it down.
Another one for Zach. He has a scorer's mentality. Very dangerous when he gets into rhythm.
Here's Leonard. Again, Leonard missing.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look. Just a really solid display there of rebounding. They've done it really all game.
They pounded the glass every time down the floor, and it's clear that they want to win that rebounding battle.
And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That'll be his second foul of the game. DeJounte Murray, he's checked in for San Antonio. Here's Dunn. Smitty, you were very much the prototypical wing player during your career. When you look around the league, which current player reminds you, say, most of yourself and your style?
You know, I think a guy, he's getting a little bit older, but I think a similar guy for me was Joe Johnson. Some of the guys I love watching right now, I was definitely not that long, and a guy could create that much space is Giannis because he can handle the basketball. I'm looking forward to watching Ben Simmons. I like the 6'8", 6'9" guys that can handle the basketball, but I would say Joe Johnson, and he's still going.
Parker with the steal. Here's Murray. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from for San Antonio.
And this is the kind of performance that everyone talks about seeing in person. The way he's attacked the defense with no hesitation. The tough shots he's taken and made, just a masterpiece. When he gets it going, he can put up some big numbers.
And the Bulls making a change here. Portis is checked in. Here's Dunn. No good with the triple.
He's trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but it's not to be.
And the shot is good. And 11 points for Parker.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dunn kicks to Markkanen. They set the pick. And Parker comes with the help. That's tipped. Murray with it. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Lauri Markkanen.
The crafty vet, Aldridge, positioning himself well to score, get fouled, or both.
And some changes here for the Spurs. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Gay comes in for Green, and it's Mills in for Tony Parker. And Chicago also making a switch. Paul Zipser, he's checked in for Justin Holiday. Here's Levine. No good off the front iron. And the Spurs with possession. They're on an 18-6 run. Gay can't hit. Well, Chicago has gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4.
And he runs the floor with a purpose that time. Excellent play.
You know what? And a late reaction by the transition D. Takes it himself. Oh, goodness. Terrific. Wow. You know Rudy likes showing off. He's definitely got hops. A sensational dunker.
Bull shooting is leaving some to be desired. Just 36% here in the third quarter. Here's Dunn. Knocks it loose. Stolen by Anderson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Anderson's got his second bucket.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row.
from the paint.
When you think about a great system and great execution, you think of the San Antonio Spurs. Not the most athletic team. You won't see a bunch of dunks or fast break points. If you love the game, you have to admire how they get things done.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Laverne comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Ginobili in for Murray. Grant, he's checked in for Chicago.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
There's the double team with Ginobili. Grant outside. Left side, Levine. Here's the three. And it's Gay with the rebound. And we've seen a litany of role players come to San Antonio and shoot guys career highs.
Well, you know, especially shooters. This offense gets them the cleanest look they can ask for. There's no great secret in their strategy. It's all in the execution.
And last season, Patty Mills averaging the most assists of his career. In fact, he was the highest efficiency player rated on the Spurs.
You know what? He says becoming more of a leader has helped him grow as a playmaker. He's enjoying his new role.
Levine. Again, Levine missing.
Still no rhythm. This may be a time when you want to make the extra pass. Give someone else a chance.
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
The reason why a number of guys on this roster, they are built for speed. Why not play to your strengths?
Grant outside. Can't hit that one. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. And the wide open shot from Ginobili. Buries it from three-point range. Ginobili's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Yeah, another missed opportunity, and you can just see the frustration.
He wants to help his team, but when you're in position to finish, it's hard to turn that down.
Now the Bulls with it, and following this one, they'll take on the Hornets in New Orleans. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road.
Great play to run for Zach. Off ball, he's quick to catch and elevate.
And it's Laverne missing.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
And also protecting the rim at all costs. I love the anticipation to affect the shot.
Bulls have made 2/3 of their free throws tonight, 6 of 9 to be exact.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
And that one goes in, 2 from the line that time. Well, you know, you think about the way the Bulls ended their season last year, snuck into the playoffs as the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. And in fact, Smitty, they jumped off to a 2-0 series lead, but then the reverse sweep happens to them.
Yeah, it did. Hard to say how deep they could have gone if they stayed healthy, but they almost put those Cinderella slippers on as an 8th seed. Losing Rondo, it hurt. This team just never looked the same in that series.
Just flying up and down the court, 9 straight in transition.
The Bulls shooting at a 32% clip from the field. They're just not executing. Back to Levine, takes a 3. The rebound by the Spurs. Anderson's got his 4th rebound in this one. Ginobili can't hit. Stolen by Ginobili. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Ginobili's got 9.
Really smoking the Nets now after a difficult time shooting in the first half.
On the wing, Levine. Wide open look. Again, Levine missing. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Ginobili. Another shot, and he sinks the layup. Mills has got 8 points in the quarter.
You know, he's not someone who spends a ton of time in the painted area, but Patty Mills looking comfortable on that one.
Knocked away. And so it's San Antonio holding an unbelievable lead as the quarter wraps up. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. A chance now to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team just moments ago.
Nobody holds the ball, not even 1,001. You catch it, it's a shot, it's a drive or pass, whatever you got.
Specific instructions from Greg Popovich. If you don't have a clean look, don't have an open lane, move the ball.
Yeah, and the key is fast decision-making, and that takes great recognition from all 5 guys in terms of communication. That's really what we call chemistry.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Mills and Manu at the guards. Laverne out there with Anderson. And it's Bertinis in at the small forward. That's the San Antonio 5. Pass to Pondexter. Ball's knocked loose. And with the business of basketball booming, most players are afforded a pretty lavish lifestyle. There's no doubt, in not only the NBA, but in all sports, certainly a blessing. But Smitty, are there downsides to all that notoriety, all that money, all that lavishness?
Yeah, it is, Kevin. I think the downside is, one, you can't live that lifestyle if it's lavish for the rest of your life. And I think second, it takes away. You are a public figure right now. You have to understand that. And that's the downside. Being able to go out with your family, being able to go out to a restaurant, you got to understand, yes, there's going to be fans everywhere, and it takes away from that. So I think that's the 2 things for me is guys got to understand that lifestyle doesn't last. And I think also, personally, it takes away from what you can do out in public.
Passes it to Nwaba. And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. San Antonio making a switch here. Murray's checked in. To the middle. Here's Portis. The rebound by Anderson. Anderson's got 6 rebounds now in the game. The shot's good.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it. Good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
Grant kicks to Portis. There's the double team with Ginobili. Dishes it to Pondexter. Sinks the triple.
The D just sagged off just enough and no hesitation on his part.
And it's Laverne missing. The Bulls shooting 31%, not looking sharp offensively to say the least. Here's Nwaba. He's covered by Ginobili. Here's Grant. The rebound by Anderson. Anderson's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And it's Laverne missing. The Bulls have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Grant with the ball. Out guarded by Murray. Laverne with the steal. Anderson passes to Bertens. Shoots over Pondexter. They get it back. Off the left rim and out. Grant outside. Poke loose. There's the dish to Laverne. And Laverne throws it down.
And that unpredictable nature of Ginobili, it can be frustrating for the defense, especially when he's cutting them to pieces with his passing.
Now, here's Grant. He's covered by Murray. Laverne with the steal. And he drops it in from the low post. Laverne's got 8 points in the quarter.
And a high percentage look there, and he takes full advantage. Bumps up the lead.
Yeah, the lead now is double digits. Some tricky matchups out there. Not a lot of solutions.
Here's Bertens. Here's Murray. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
Uh-oh. He misses the bunny. I think he thought somebody was coming over to contest it.
Tipped away. Here's the break. Here's Bertens. Felicio with the rebound.
He got the space he needed, but just blew the layup. It hurts me to see points lost like that.
A nice shot by Pondexter.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
San Antonio's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the 3-ball here. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Well, Chicago's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Out to the right wing. Three-pointer. Laverne grabs the miss. Laverne's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Not that time, his 6th miss. He's made 4 of 10 so far. Pondexter kicks to Grant. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
Clearly a foul.
Well, this Bulls team, the definition of mediocre last season, finished a 41-41 record. They decided it was time to trade away Jimmy Butler and go young.
Lopez, he's checked in for Bobby Portis. And it's Laverne missing. The Bulls have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the 4th quarter. In transition, here come the Spurs. Bertans can't get it to go.
You know, this is a time when you don't have to force anything. You're in command of this game.
And for the Bulls, some felt they didn't get enough back in return for Jimmy Butler from Minnesota. Smitty, what's your take on that?
Well, the Bulls got younger. They got some shooting, which they really needed. Ask me in a few years after we see how these young fellas develop.
Here's Chicago. Grant kicks to Nwaba. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it. Chicago making some changes. Paul Zipser, he's checked in for Pondexter. And it's Valentine in for David Nwaba. Shot from the inbound. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And done a much better job from the line this half. They've gotten that percentage up over 80 for the game.
And the initial rules for the NBA include that 6 personal fouls is the magic number before you're done for the game. It's been this way since, who can remember? But do you think 6 is the right number, Steve, for fouls? Or would you like to see them raise or lower it?
I definitely wouldn't want to see them raise it. I think 7 would be too much. Maybe if they lower it, that's a possibility. But right now I think it's 6. Maybe 5, or maybe you can experiment during some preseason games or in summer league. But I think 6 should be the maximum.
Grant outside. Got a piece of it. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. Doubled by Murray. Shot clock at 5. Here's Zipser. And that one is good.
The defense cannot afford to give him an inch that close to the basket because he will burn you every time.
Bertans, good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Bulls have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the 4th quarter. Now, here's Grant. They get a hand on it, out to the right wing. Oh, good on the triple. Here's Bertans. He's covered by Grant. Bertans can't get it to go.
Well, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
And that's a foul called on Davis Bertans. That is his first foul of the game. Well, Steve, with the rise of NBA message boards and increased coverage from beat writers, NBA players have plenty of opportunity to read up on opinions of what people are saying about that player. Is this something that is impossible to avoid? And do some players read fan opinions about themselves? Are they reading these critiques?
Yeah, I think they are. Some players read in too much. Fans have a voice, but you don't have to read the good or the bad. But going back to the beat writers, I think a lot of times a beat writer is one of those guys that you see every day. And you're looking to challenge him when he writes something bad, and also you want to pat him on the back when he writes something good. But I think you got to look at the beat writer and understand he's doing his job. You got to kind of separate that. But a lot of times when there's a beat writer interact with a player, a lot of times it's bad, especially if the beat writer has written something negative toward the player. I wish they could separate those guys, and also the players can separate the beat writers from fans.
Now here's Valentine. Not a lot of room.
Out of bounds.
And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. San Antonio calls timeout. And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hands.
The better he played, the more these fans got revved up. And that continued to play out over the course of his amazing performance. Mills, he's checked in for the Spurs. A minute 42 left in the fourth quarter. 2 on the clock. And so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here. .137 left in the fourth quarter, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. And the Spurs with possession. They're on a 16-7 run. Here's Laverne. That's tipped. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Grant leading the charge.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Spurs.
When you consider the difference in their field goal percentages, the other team has to be happy that this wasn't a bigger loss. This team was on fire.
Yeah, Kevin, it's always frustrating when you can't throw a rock on the ground and the other guys just can't seem to miss.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Leonard.
There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
I mean, the mid-range jump shot, a lot of guys have a hard time knocking it down.
Here's Zipser. He's covered by Anderson. Chicago grabs the miss. Here's Zipser. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Anderson. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. .23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Grant dishes to Lopez. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket. And Mills kicks to Anderson. It's good.
And this is the kind of deficit it would take a miracle to overcome.
I think this hometown crowd agrees with you. They are fired up about it.
First one falls for him. And Grant drops them both. Now Mills. Anderson. And that falls.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
Well, this is less about winning the game now and more about making a bold statement.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Danny, a strong defensive effort both individually and team. Now, how comfortable are you at that end of the floor now, knowing that you can make things tough on the opposition?
Well, we want to make them take tough shots. We're not comfortable at any point defensively, but we got to continue to be active and be aggressive and get our hands on loose balls.
It's been the mark of the Spurs for a long time, Danny. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later.